Hi, thanks for tuning in. I want to do a series on health. Health is something that has been on my mind for many years and um, something I've devoted a lot of time to because over the years I've been to many doctors and more recently have been sticking with a naturopath, trying to find answers to uh, issues that I've had with my own health, and uh, never really been able to find any solutions. So this is going to be the beginning of me opening up about things that are a little bit more personal, but the reason I'm doing it is because um, I feel like it could help some people to know that certain things I've done have helped me resolve certain issues. And recently, in the past few years, maybe four, my health has been in this sort of rapid decline and almost free fall. I mean, it started with sudden weight gain where I gained 25 pounds in 6 months. The first 15 pounds I seem to have gained in just a month, but then it creeped up to 25 pounds over the course of 6 months. And it seemed very evident at that point that something was wrong with my metabolism. But the symptoms just kept developing. There was just one thing after another, and I started to feel pain. I started to have constipation. I used to be very regular. I used to go every day. I'd go to the bathroom, go poop every day, sometimes twice a day. I was in a really good state physically. I was in really good health. I was dancing. I was doing ballroom dancing. And anyway, so during that time, I was going through a difficult time. I was going through a really tough emotional time, and all I can surmise is that perhaps a lot of that emotional angst was being stored in my gut. However, there are behaviors that could have led to the gut problems as well, which was a lot of stress eating, and my stress food of choice is sugar, so candy. And I do recall that a sort of pivotal moment in this health decline was one particular Halloween where I just couldn't keep my hands out of the candy bag, and I just kept eating an insane amount of candy. And anyway, that whole situation must have completely destroyed my gut in some way, my gut biome. And there was a weight gain, there was pain, constipation. Then I started to feel very alarming kind of pain that was concentrated right in my large intestine area. And it would always be pain that I would feel preceding having a bowel movement. So therefore I knew that this was a mechanical thing. This was a mechanical problem. Whereas the waste is passing through that part of the body, I was essentially feeling that. You know, you're not supposed to feel that stuff. And it was painful, and it was kind of this achy sensation, which would sometimes radiate from the front, and sometimes would radiate from the back. So like down kind of, initially when I first started feeling the pains, I wasn't able to detect the pattern, and so I thought it was something with my kidney. So anyway, I had all these tests. I consulted medical professionals, and couldn't arrive to any answers, and my health continued to decline. I started having other symptoms. I started to feel lethargic and tired, and then I decided, God, I have to do something about this. So I forced myself to work out, to do exercises every single day, between a half hour to an hour of stretching. I do yoga, I do push-ups, sit-ups, a little bit of cardio every single day. I didn't miss a single day, and it was like I'm going like this, right? And then the exercising just sort of kind of maybe slowed down the descent, but it didn't really resolve the issue. And then finally, I started feeling issues with my respiratory system. So it was like everything was just kind of working its way up. And I started having recurring staph infections in my nose. Uh, um, and then finally, the thing that really, the straw that really broke the camel's back was a sudden onset of intense allergic reactions to the environment, just to the air. I was and I was just constantly, my nose was constantly draining mucus to the point where it was dehydrating me, despite me doing everything I could to stay hydrated. I'd drink bottles of water, and I'd even put electrolytes in the water to try to keep myself hydrated. But I'd wake up every morning feeling exhausted and dry, and my eyes were dry. My even though I had a lot of mucus coming out. Sorry if I'm grossing you guys out. But even though I had a lot of mucus coming out, all of my nasal cavities were really dry and leathery. And this really exhausted me. Having to go through that last set of symptoms really tired me out to the point where I couldn't work out anymore. I couldn't do exercise. And so finally I went to my naturopath, and she prescribed a number of things, and she set me up to get some tests. And I decided to try one thing first, which was a probiotic. And as soon as I took that, it was one of these capsules a day. As soon as I took that probiotic, my entire gut fixed itself. I had this theory. I came to her with my theory. I said, listen, I have a feeling that all these other things I'm experiencing stem from something that's going on in my gut. I need to fix my gut somehow. And it turned out to be true. I started taking this probiotic about a week ago, and every day I take one with every meal. And I'll put a link to this particular one that I'm using, in case you want to look it up, look into it, and ask your doctor if it's something that might work for you. As soon as I started taking this probiotic, all of a sudden my bowel movements felt like they used to when I was healthy. I wasn't constipated anymore. I was going every day, sometimes twice a day. And the amount that I was letting out was a lot. It was like it used to be. When I was during this 3-year period of being sick and having issues with my gut, I wasn't letting a lot out, which is kind of weird to me. Like, where did it go? And I think what was going on is the body was not able to release all of that toxicity, and so it was absorbing it. And my entire body was becoming toxic, essentially. I was in a state of poisoning myself because my gut didn't have the proper biome to process everything that I was eating and let go of all the crap, literally. And because I was holding on to all of that toxicity, all of my other functions started to fail. My immune system was probably just overtaxed and couldn't deal with simple things like dust in the air or whatever it is that my allergy symptoms were of, which are now gone. I'm not, a week later, I very rarely have to blow my nose. I don't wake up with congestion in the morning. It's amazing. It's almost miraculous. And so I thought I would put this out there, share it with you all in the event that it helps someone, if you're dealing with symptoms like this, to look into it. Look into this particular probiotics. It's made in Nevada, one of the the 5 freest states in the United States, so maybe that's why they've been able to produce a good product. But regardless, it worked, and I'm happy to say that. There are a lot of other things I've learned about health. This is the latest, and it's inspired me to start this new series, which I'll be calling Health Awakenings. I used to actually share my health awakenings with friends online. It was like 10 years ago, before I left Facebook. And so there are a lot of other things I've learned that I have archived, and I'll go through and I'll put out a video every once in a while, sharing something I've learned about health. It's been, for the most part, a introspective and lonely journey, because, you know, this is the very first time a medical professional has actually been able to help me figure something out. And I'm just incredibly grateful to my naturopath for pointing me to this particular probiotic. It's going to save my life, I feel. And so I thought I would share that with you, and I look forward to sharing more things about health and things that I've learned. There's some stuff I want to tell you about sleep and how to improve your sleep. Are you waking up with pain in your back in the morning, for example? There's all sorts of interesting things I've learned just through experimentation, and I look forward to sharing those with you. So if this kind of thing interests you, please subscribe and comment, please, and let me know what you think about these experiences. Thanks.